Alright, Pokemon fans, welcome back to round 4 of the Independence, Missouri Midseason Showdown. This is the final round of cut, and we're seeing two 1 players, Joshua Adams and John Masters, are going to be playing. So they're playing to make it into cut at this tournament. And we're about to jump into team preview, and we can talk about the teams. This round, I'm joined by Eduardo, or EMBC. So go ahead and introduce yourself to those who don't know you.
Hi guys, I'm Edu. Yeah, and I'll be joining you this round and hopefully the following ones as well. So yeah, we're getting right to the game. It seems that players are going into team preview, and whoa, we see very interesting teams from both sides. As Josh Adams seems to be running a team with Abomasnow, Braviary, Koko, Incineroar, Porygon2, and Araquanid, as John Master seems to be using Stakataka, Tapu, Bulu, Camerupt, Scrafty, Musharna, and Tapu Fini.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about this team. Musharna, I don't think I've ever played it. I'm not 100% sure what abilities it has. I think it's got Levitate and Telepathy, potentially, or whatever the one that prevents you from hitting your...
Yeah, it has Telepathy, yes, Telepathy.
Okay. But yeah, I don't think I've ever faced one of these like in format, so I'm really excited for that. And both players locked in their teams super quickly, and like, oh no, I know what I'm using. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. So we do see Incineroar and Braviary against Scrafty Musharna, as Braviary seems to be getting a free boost right away.
Yeah. So, oh, sorry, go for it.
Oh no, I was going to say that we see a trade of Intimidates. So yeah, we do see that both Intimidate users will be at -1 attack. Musharna is really relevant, but Braviary will be at +1 attack, which is very important, especially given that Incineroar is as the faster fake out, as we do see that Musharna is forward. So now we know about the obvious Brave Bird as well.
Forewarn is something else. So yeah, honestly, a good lead for Josh. You know, gets the boost on his Braviary. His Incineroar is faster for the faster fake out. Just all around, it was a good turn, and they just trade fake outs on turn 1. So I guess we're gonna redo this turn now.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, I think Josh is a better matchup right now, as I can just target Musharna with a double target, and nothing can really stop Josh from doing so. Scrafty really isn't threatening much, so I'm really not liking John's position right now.
I mean, Scrafty will be able to hit Incineroar for super effective damage, but we normally see Scrafty in a bit more of a bulky support role. And being at -1, it's not going to be enough to KO. So we do see this Brave Bird into Musharna. At +1, it deals a lot of damage, as Knockoff also goes into Musharna and is enough to pick up the KO with that double target.
Yeah, and Scrafty just goes for a Drain Punch, which is really not going to do much to the Incineroar. Still does a respectable amount in 40%, but that's definitely not beneficial for him at all after getting his Trick Room Setter knocked out. His Tapu Fini comes in.
Yeah, so again, I'm just really not sure how John is going to deal with this Braviary. You know, it's going to be able to fire off really strong attacks still at +1 attack. If it's carrying the Z move, you know, +1 is probably going to be enough to take out Tapu Fini. Obviously, into Scrafty, we'll be able to pick up the KO, so that's just a tough spot, I think, for John to come back from. As we do see Araquanid hit the field.
Interestingly enough, Braviary just goes for the Brave Bird, right into the Scrafty, getting yet another knockout. So just leaving the Braviary vulnerable to an attack from Tapu Fini. As we do see the Muddy Water that Araquanid does resist, but Braviary is probably going to get knocked out.
Oh, and John does get the accuracy drop onto that Araquanid, so that could potentially have a big impact going throughout this game that Josh is going to want to make sure to mitigate if he can.
Yeah. So it does get rid of the threat, but still, it got 2 knockouts, and there's nothing really much that can touch the Araquanid. Of course, the accuracy drop is really annoying, but if we do see a Z move coming from the Araquanid, you can just ignore the drop and KO Camerupt, even perhaps through Protect. So that would be a very interesting play coming from Josh. Let's see what happens though. As Araquanid seems to be in a really good spot right now, and I really don't see a solid way for John Masters to really come out on top here in this game.
Yeah, especially since he's not going to have any speed control, and Camerupt having such low speed, it's not going to want to take an attack from this Araquanid.
Yeah, exactly. That's where we see the muddy water coming out. Really the only shot that John really has, accuracy drops.
Yeah, he just needs more accuracy and more misses.
Yes, he does get one on at least on each Pokemon, but Araquanid hits anyway.
Yeah, the liquidation connects into the Camerupt, and Camerupt just had no chance there. So.
And Abomasnow also connects with the energy ball, doing a lot of damage, 90%, about 90% off Tapu Fini just gone. Reveals Snowberry too.
Yeah, so that's some big information, seeing that the berry didn't proc, knowing that it's not carrying that item. So that's good information for Josh to take into Game 2 as well.
Yeah, exactly. Knowing that Tapu Fini does not run a berry and also winning Game 1 is just a huge advantage going into Game 2. He knows of a plan that works very well against the Trick Room setup mode. He knows of Tapu Fini's how Tapu Fini cannot really handle a bunch of hits, because Tapu Fini can be really solid against moves that are just neutral because he can just take multiple of those and heal back, while super effective moves, can usually tweet KO it anyway. Since he only brought one Pokemon with super effective moves to Tapu Fini, it would seem that John could have, just gotten rid of Abomasnow, and then Tapu Fini would have an amazing position. But since he doesn't have a berry, it's not like he's going to take Braviary's hits too well anyway.
Mm-hmm.
We see that John is very confident on his adaptation despite losing the Game 1. Such few turns. So it seems to have a backup plan. And Josh is also confident, so we're going right into Game 2. We see Stakataka and Tapu Fini coming in against the Braviary and the Incineroar. Much better adaptation, of course, as Stakataka quad resists the Brave Bird from Braviary, and Incineroar also doesn't do that much damage if it doesn't have low kicks or superpower or any fighting move at all.
Yeah, so we also see that this Tapu Fini is definitely a Trick Room variant of Tapu Fini, as though it wasn't obvious from Team Preview, but because Misty Terrain activated after Incineroar, Tapu Fini is most likely deliberately very slow.
Yeah, that was definitely very interesting. As we see the Protect coming from Stakataka, as the fake outcome from Incineroar goes right into that Protect. And Superpower is revealed from Braviary, right into the Stakataka as well, which gives Tapu Fini just the perfect opportunity to get a Muddy Water off.
So the Muddy Water is going to be huge, connecting with that Incineroar. Procking its Berry though, but normally if you activate Berry on the first attack, the second one's going to be enough to KO. And also, so both of these Pokemon on Josh's side of the field are now in range of another Muddy Water.
Yeah, exactly. It seems to be quite easy for John to just click Muddy Water, get a double knockout. He could take the Stakataka with the Braviary and Incineroar could take Stakataka with them, but we just see the Musharna in the back, ready to take the superpower as he goes right into it. And Muddy Water, if it connects, will be able to knock out the Braviary. So there we go. Muddy Water connects. So yeah, we see the Braviary go down. So it seems to be a much better beginning of a game for John compared to what we saw the previous game.
Yeah, not giving that Braviary the free boost with Intimidate is really key. And so now, if he brought that Scrafty again, he's free to switch it in and keep lowering the attack of any Pokemon that Josh has brought. However, despite having the Pokemon advantage, John's not got very good board field position right now. Just the Tapu Fini is going to struggle to deal damage to Araquanid and Abomasnow if it wants to keep clicking Muddy Water, and Musharna is going to be in trouble, like if that Araquanid wants to go for, say, a Bug Bite or something.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
This may make it difficult for John to set up Trick Room, which he definitely wants Trick Room to get up if he can.
Exactly. As we see the Muddy Water from Tapu Fini just keeps on clicking as it's probably a choice Bex variant, so there's not really much else to do. We see some nice chip damage. Abomasnow, interestingly enough, does not mega evolve and gets a Blizzard off.
Araquanid goes for substitute.
Very interesting as we see a Z move coming from Musharna. Now it could be
Z Trick Room. Or
a very interesting wide open eyes coming from Musharna. But yeah, as we see the Z Trick Room coming out.
So now, I'm really liking that substitute that Araquanid just went for, because the Z Trick Room raises accuracy. So most of the time, like, I've seen some Musharna, well, not Musharna, but Reuniclus running Hypnosis, which I believe Musharna learns Hypnosis as well, and with the boost accuracy, that can be really strong. However, not something you can take advantage of for a couple more turns until Misty Terrain runs out, but that substitute just really prevents any threat of that, at least for as long as it's there.
Yes, as we see Abomasnow now Mega Evolving, taking the Psychic much better, as the Energy Ball goes right into the Tapu Fini, and it's not enough to knock it out, as the Bug Bite comes out and misses going to Musharna, as Muddy Water coming from Tapu Fini will be able to get some damage off. Probably not break the substitute on Araquanid unless it gets a critical hit. That's what we see. Hail is probably going to knock out the Tapu Fini. So you see the berry coming from Araquanid.
Araquanid activating that berry, healing itself like by 50%, puts it in a really strong position now, because John's going to have to break the substitute and then start attacking it. But if there's one Pokemon on his team that can do that, it's Stakataka, so we'll see.
As it comes in. Araquanid, the fact that he showed substitute and Bug Bite reveals that Araquanid does not have Fight Guard, unless he doesn't have Protect, which I believe he hasn't showed yet. But that would be very unlikely. So Stakataka is fairly free to just go for a Rock Slide, although, it's probably slower than Musharna. So Araquanid is still threatening either way. As Incineroar comes in, getting an Intimidate off on the Stakataka, reducing its damage output, not really affecting the Musharna. As we do see the Protect from Stakataka, as Musharna, I believe, should be trying to break this up on Araquanid, as that's what we see. Right into that sub that gets broken. Araquanid could use substitute again, but now just goes for a liquidation right into the Protect.
Yeah, so good Protect by John, knowing exactly what he's trying to do there. Break the substitute, and so then Stakataka is free to KO later. But Josh kind of punishing that by bringing that Incineroar in. He's got Fake Out again, and so this is kind of like just burning John's turns of Trick Room at this point.
Fake Out is really good at doing that, as that's exactly what we see. Fake Out coming right into the Stakataka, who can no longer Protect. Gets flinched, and Hypnosis comes out and misses on Araquanid, so the boosts are still not enough to make it 100% accurate. As the substitute gets off, and yet again, Araquanid is very threatening for the team. If the Hypnosis had hit the Araquanid, it would be very different, but it's not 100% accurate, so there's always that going against it.
Right. So I believe after the Z hypnosis, or after the Z trick room, hypnosis gets up to 83% accuracy or something. So unfortunate to miss, but also John has had some luck in that regard on his own. So we do see Protect coming out from the Araquanid, revealing for sure that it is not carrying Wide Guard, as Incineroar avoids the Rock Slide. Really, really unfortunate turn there, I think, for John, as
Yeah, knockoff just gets the KO on Musharna. Very unfortunate. For John is, is up against the wall. Basically now, no pun intended, by the way. And Camerupt comes in. Very very tough position. Stakataka could just go for Rock Slide and Camerupt for, I guess, T-Wave trying to hit the Araquanid. Stakataka is probably going to be slower, unless he messed around with some different EVs or IVs. So Camerupt will be attacking into the regular Araquanid instead of being the Stakataka. Since Stakataka will just be breaking the sub. We see the Incineroar go for a Flare Blitz. Strict Room is over, so just the game should be fairly over as Araquanid goes for the liquidation, misses on the Stakataka, and Nature's Power is revealed, going for Tri Attack, which hits Araquanid much harder than any other move that Camerupt could have. And it seems that it might just give John the edge that he was waiting for, as Rock Slide is avoided again.
yeah. So after the burn there, reducing Stakataka's damage, I'm not sure that the miss even really mattered, considering that Incineroar is still around anyways. But still, it is kind of unfortunate, adds insult to injury there.
Yeah, I think it's just hilarious how every move has been avoided by every party of this set. But yeah, as we see, Josh takes the second game and the set goes to him. Very interesting games, but it seemed that Josh had all the tools that he needed to counteract John's strategy.